the true power of my Nioh experience. This is remastered. But I've beaten the Abyss about 5 times. First time was 2017. And I got caught in the wave of nerfs with the living weapon builds, amongst a load of others, while loads of others flew through in a matter of 23 hours. I took the nerf because of having updated patches. But this doesn't represent my PS4 save, because the PS4 save will show you, and I haven't taken all the saves over from my PS4, so I finished it on multiple times on different accounts. But this was my original save that I finished the game. Then I crossed it over to PS5. Then it updated that you beat the Abyss of this year. But if I went to the PS4 version, which I've got still here, got the PS4. It will show you at 2017. So yeah, all in all, it took me about 10 months to beat, because I was at work and this game was very bugged at the beginning of this game. Patch after patch after patch, unplayable. Do you know what I mean? And whatever, because you could go to 750 straight away. So anyway, so obviously I've got this on PC as well. I beat the Abyss in the day, right, on PC. So, and I got Nioh 2 on PC. Nioh 2, to me, was a huge disappointment. Right, I'm gonna load. So these are the saves I brought over. Nioh 2, amongst me and quite a few other people, was a huge disappointment to me and the rest of the community. Even though Nioh 2 was a great game, it was a huge disappointment. It lacked power, no bow builds, no stone builds, no kunai builds, none of this crazy damage that you could do that you would hit over 1,000,000. You know what I mean? There's still glitches in this game where you can have all your armor set to like bows. You look online, it's still there, you can still do it, do you know what I mean? But you could muck up your save. But these are the saves. You can see Abyss Floor 750. These are some that when I've recently played it, when this would have been earlier on this year, some of the ones that I crossed over. Omni Region 18 hours and blah 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 blah. But I've got this one here. Wait, how many did I bring over? Wait there, level 400 Spirit Stone Slumber, 3 hours 42, 213, 177 hours, 53 hours, and I've got 4 other PSN accounts. So this was my main account. So this is how many hours I put in it. 2,281 hours, and this is the most powerful character. I've got a couple of other characters just as powerful as, but this is where I was trying to grind. To get to levels, you have to go to floor 995 and you come out at 998, and then how you do that is you go, how you get your armor to go like this. This is a bit of an old build. This was an old build how everyone was getting through Nioh. back in the day. Do you know what I mean? The build changed a bit. Do you know what I mean? The full health. Do you know? Blah 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 blah. So obviously these changed with the nerfs. These two was using mouse, Kato. There's always the secretaries and the ball, and then something else. Then you know, it's always changing. And this was the best one. Do you know what I mean? That we settled on. Do you know what I mean? This was going through the abyss anyway. Keep on switching about to find, you know, what works best, because of living weapon taking the biggest nerf ever when they released like leeching and stuff all that. Because you used to have to use burning oil jars if you that. Because a lot of people jumped onto Nioh 2 knowing nothing about Nioh 1, you know. So obviously that was the clan. Obviously I haven't played this game for a long time. You know, I had a little dabble in it a few months ago on a new character. But the reason I can't play this game on PS5 controller don't work. Waiting for it to come back. So that's the build. Was 220, 69 stamina, 33, 200. My Adachi would do, because it's part of a set, would do absolutely untold amount of damage. I've got a channel up of me, you know, one banging the two last bosses on 99. It's a video I got on my YouTube channel. It's mostly lost because I didn't make a lot of Nioh content, you know what I mean? I streamed a lot of it, I helped a ton of people, but I used to say to them, you got to play the game on your own, you're not getting any skill points or anything like that. You can get Amrita from me and clear regions, but you're not getting those things. And then the best Kusa in the game, now we will recognise these going over to Nioh 2. You know, the Shiranui, I think it's called Will o' the Wisp. The Will, it's actually, I think it's the Murakami out of the Kusa was the best, the strongest in the game. But this was best because the simple fact is, it had the highest multiplier in the game. You know, and obviously to get, you know, to get a AAA minus, you could get it to I think you could get it to a plus, and you don't do that. You have to keep on rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. It could probably, I used to do this for hours, you know what I mean? There's also a lot of glitches you can still do with this game. When I mean glitches, you can still, I could make all this armor, it's still on YouTube, I could make all my armor into bows. It's to do with making your sets. How you make your builds in Nioh 2 is a bit different. It's just saving your thingies, but if you do it wrong, you can lose all of this. You know, so basically you have a bow in this, a bow in that, and a bow in that, and a bow in that. And there's no reason to do that because you can make a bow build. It just takes a little bit of time. You know what I mean? That's the thing where Nioh 2 failed short in power-wise. You're more powerful in this, literally, at the end of, you know, the way of the samurai, because it's a living weapon, you know. The only thing with this is terrible RNG, especially stuff getting the right Yasukara Megatamas, because you got, this is what you're looking for, increased attack value, because that pushes everything straight up. I mean, I must have sold so many. So which one doesn't? No one. So I sold so many Yasukara Megatamas. So you're looking at increased attack value and weapon attack enhancement. I can't get my thing back on the controls. So the K-Warrior Helm, like the Grace of Susanoo, obviously the strongest grace in the game in Nioh 1 as living weapon, with the K-Warrior Helm, which everyone knows, as it is like that, exactly like that. You know what I mean? It's just been refashioned. It's the strongest because it was a dev helmet, yeah? but you have to make it into Susanoo. So the only bits of Susanoo I've got here are these. That, the bow. It didn't matter what you had, do you know what I mean? Because they're all high. 320. The highest you could go in this game is 320, 140. 140 were the rarest drops in the game. There's people that play this game and think they was getting it, and the damage output, you'd never get it. I see about 3 or 4 people get 1 or 2 pieces. That was it. I see one guy that really did go in and farm a load of stuff and make everything 139. So 137. I picked up a lot of 139, but it wasn't transferable. And the Magatamas you're looking for. Wait there, I just put on a. Did I put on a different one? Increase defense and value. Wait, let me just have a look. So I've got. Ah, wait there. We know what happened here. There you go. Start the wrong one. And here. Wait there. All wrong here. Increased attack and value. Yeah, right. So that's what you was looking for. These two here. Increased attack. Weapon attack enhancement. I know this is like, it's an old game, but it's just become free on I think PlayStation Plus. Not the remastered, but the original version of the game. I've helped so many people in this game, it's unreal. So that's what you're looking for. And if you could forge, I was talking to a mate of mine because I did have some builds in the pipeline. Halfway through of making a bow build, but they're difficult to, and a stone build, because you can do all these. You can do 1 million damage with all these builds. You know, kunai. You can't do that in Nioh 2. What was you left with in Nioh 2? You was left with I can't even remember how many floors it was. 108 floors with 30 floors of the abyss, with loads of focus points left over and loads of stuff left over. It was terrible. I mean, what they done with design in Nioh 2 of their version of Endgame was great, but it ended up being a skill-based game that you could temper everything. This is just totally bad bullshit RNG. That's why there's over 2,200 and something hours in this game. You know, and it took me 10 months to beat from buying it in March of 2017. Obviously, I was working and at that time and. Beating it just before Christmas in 2017, but I took the nerve when everyone went through very quickly with this build. In 23 hours, they've done the Abyss in under 23 hours, and they nerfed living weapon. Everything just add living weapons to the ground, and they just and that's when the last DLC come out. And it's also when a guy called Poor Project ejected in the game. He's like, "That's it, I've had enough." Because that's how he made his channel like that through this game. You know, so that was it. 2-piece Kagetsu with that. I recognise they changed all these names in Nioh 2. They do more or less similar things. Tanashi's still there, and I think General Kagetsu's still there. But that's the build, and it hits like a truck. It hits like a truck. Let me see. I've useless. All this stuff useless. So what I used to do is I used to go here to get your. Look, see, I can't even control my thing. God damn it! That is. I have to blow into the PS5 controller. So you go to the blacksmith, and you'll forge weapons. I'm just trying to think what it is now. Right, so it's these. So you forge these. Alright, swordsmith hammers, right? Because it's got the. That's what you got to look for. The soul matching inheritance value. So you'll forge. I would forge about 100 of those. Alright, literally forge them. Then go to the armor. Then you forge that. Because it's got the soul matching that. And I'll forge about 100 of those. I'll go to floor in the abyss here. I'll go to floor 995 and come out of 998, because if you come out of 999 it doesn't do nothing, you know. So you come out of 998, then you just look for an inheritance value, and that's how people would get their that's how people would get. So 137 because when you finish your abyss you're looking around about 133 132. So these have all been inherited up, so they're mainly 1.36. 138 is the highest I think I've got on my hat. 135, 135, 136, and we've got a Shirinui at 137. I asked the Palamine, do you know what I mean? They're worth grinding. A lot of people trying to grind for 140. They are so rare in this game, and that was the setup. Easy setup, do you know what I mean? Bump, 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 bump. And that's it. See, with this game, that's why, you know, like a friend of mine playing Nioh 2, when he beat it, like we both beat it around about the same time, well over a year ago now. Do you know what I mean? I think, yeah, it was over a year ago. We beat the depths and all that, like with a mage build. Do you know what I mean? And he said that's it. When we learned there was no more content added, all they had to do was copy and paste, you know, a load of floors to keep us, like, you know, do you know what I mean, happy, and the game would still be a good game. Do you know what I mean? Nioh 2 would be a good game, but you just haven't got the power of Nioh 1, and you never ever will. And whatever game they're working on next looks like a load of bullshit to me, you know what I mean? So, you know, I hope they do something better than what I've seen of coming out their next game that they're working with, Final Fantasy. It doesn't look good to me. Well, the gameplay looks okay. It's just the voice acting is absolutely terrible. You know, they should have put English acting voice in there, not all these over dramatic, you know what I mean, and whatnot, you know. So we'll see when that comes out. Do you know what I mean? Because it's going to be hard. Cause it's got that Team Ninja hardness. Because this is harder than like Dark Souls and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? And I beat this. You know, when I first beat this was co-op on my own, struggling, all that. Like, there was no write-ups on it. Do you know what I mean? Because I got the floor 400 and didn't know what the bosses were. You used to have to jump in and jump back out and whatnot. There was nothing on YouTube. Yeah, so I went through the half of it on my own. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, finally done it. And a lot of people sort of finished it before, some of my mates before me, and some of them finished quite a lot after me. Then I went on to finish it, soloed it. This was on console, soloed it on PC, and then since then I've done it about 4 times, beating the Abyss. Really with the same build. Yeah, I've done it with another build, which I've got on it, which is a spear build, because I wanted to hit the pure million damage, which you do, which is, you don't change your armor. I think you wear full Kagetsu, and I think the grace is Sakiyimi or something like. It's like a burning. You can literally stand in fire. You know what I mean? Because it's the spear. It's called the torch spear in Nioh 2. Let me see. Have I got it in my inventory? I don't know if I have, because I just, if it is, it's in the storage. So no, we've got loads of these. This is what I'm saying. Look, this is the strongest on paper in the game, but this is strong because it's got such a massive multiplier. Everything works. That's just why the Shiranui is the best in the game. God, look at what it is. And the Grace Suzano is the best living weapon in the game. And what did they do? They in Nioh 2 they had something like that. And what did they do? They nerfed it. This game got nerfed to fuck. This game got nerfed to fuck. You know, you could go to level 750 straight away. That's why they capped it at 400. People using glitches. It's in terrible shape, you know. So, me and my close, a lot of people I found that you know, when I come back to it, I stopped playing this game when I beat the game for 18 months. And I come back to it and I played on a fresh character and beat the game again. And then when the Nioh 2 come out, I see a couple of people come over and just stop playing it. They just didn't like it. They didn't like being a yokai form. It ended up being a skill-based form. Some people didn't like, you know, when it was an end game, they didn't want, they weren't too bothered if it was like, you know, some people didn't like going through 999 floors. Then the people that I know wanted more floors than 999 floors. You know what I mean? You know, the real hardcore players, you know, couldn't get enough of it. We thought they was going to get more tonight. We thought in Nioh 2 they was going to do more. No, they've done less. All they had to do was copy and paste. Easy. That's all they had to do. My mate went and got every single smithing text, everything in the game that you can get of. And that's it. He ain't touched Nioh 2 since. You know, so and he beat the floors just for I did Nioh 2. That was quite a long time ago. We just didn't. I just couldn't bother to upload Nioh 2 content because it was just. It ended up to be. It was a good game, but they should have added where you had real power. And remember, this nobody knows this, but this, well, they should know. This game took 10 years to make, and it's a true story. Nioh 1 and Nioh 2, they're both true stories. So anyway, this is how powerful you can be. This will one bang the last enemies. Anyway, if I do die, it's RNG. You got to go for Darte first when you get in there. Then you go for I forget what the second one is. Darte, and that's on floor 99. I made a quick video of it. It only took me about 3 minutes. No, not even that. 2 minutes to beat 2 of them. You got to sloth and weaken them quick, and that's it. And it's a one bang. Oh, I can't remember the other one anyway. But this is the original killer build from 2017, and I don't think much will beat this now. Even now, do you know what I mean? In Nioh, and this is on PS5 now, so great. Consumed my life in 2017. This did. You know what I mean? They moved over to PS5. Does it graphically look better? And I've got a really expensive OLED TV. It does look a bit better, but it doesn't pan up to some of the PS5 games that are out there. And nor does Nioh 2, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, I thought I'd make a short video. And look, all this. That's what you get from about 2,500 hours. And I've got 4 other accounts with me beating this game, do you know what I mean? You know, because it's over the years. I've got bored. I thought, oh, let's do this. See how fast I can get through it, you know. And I beat the Abyss from start to finish, you know, in 5 days. From starting the character, going through, bump, 99 floors, done in 5 days. With a very similar build to this, armor-wise, I think that might have been this build. It only took me 5 days. And most of it was solo, so it was easy, you know? Anyway, just gonna make that short and sweet. Because I was gonna, you know, I was gonna do some boss battles or do that, the last 2-3 bosses, but I've got that on my YouTube channel. But to be quite honest, as this is the PS5 version of the game, I can't. You know, it's really hard for me to actually move this about. You know, I've already sent one PS5 controller. I've got to send another 2 back. So, great game. Nioh 2 was a great game, but I was just hugely disappointed at the end game. You know, it ended up being a skill-based game with no real damage output. You know what I mean? Like I said, I know some very good Nioh players that played the original that just stopped all of a sudden. Just didn't see them playing Nioh 2. Stopped like that. I was like, okay then, that's it. And you know, this is Team Ninja's best game by a New York mile. Forget this other damn game they're coming out with, you know, Final Fantasy, you know what I mean? Forget that, you know. Wait and see what happens when it does drop. But I would actually, I'd rather turn their language into Japanese or something if I could do, just to get rid of that diabolical, like, you know what I mean, the bad voice acting, you know, because I know it's got the hard DNA in it and whatnot. I'd rather be looking forward to what Team Ninja are doing next, because I know for a fact is on Twitter they're working on 2 games. So I don't know what other game. The other one's a secret game. I think it might be their own. Because yeah, but I just thought I'd just make this quick video because I can't show any gameplay because PS5 don't work. I mean, if I went on my PS4. I might be able to show you it, but anyway, I'm going to leave this video here. So yes, that's how powerful you can be, and I might actually make a collage of, I've got a Nioh video of me doing the last bosses, which I didn't do, oh blimey, for about 2 years ago, and I made a quick video about 3 months ago. I just thought, let's have a go, and I've done it on the 3rd try. So yeah, it's just RNG. So that's for it. Now I just thought I'd mention it because there's a big difference between the 2 games. OP in this game once you've beaten the Abyss. Nioh 2, you're not OP once you've beaten their game. You know, the end game content, you know what I mean. So I'll leave it there. Ciao ciao.